Here's the thing. People want to make money, and this is also the era of the scammer. Hell, we love scammers. We glamorize scammers until we become victims of their scams. Now, for as long as I can remember, I've been getting DMs, emails, texts from producers who are telling me that they're getting scammed by industry producers, celebrity producers, celebrities in general. And I've made this statement time and time again that if anyone contacts you for any so-called opportunity and they ask you for money, so these two criteria are met, they contact you and they ask you for money in exchange for an opportunity that you didn't even ask for, it's a scam, period. However, as recently as this last week, I was contacted by no fewer than 4 producers telling me that they were being scammed. In this case, it was all by either other producers or people posing as other producers. I would love to live in a world where this just didn't happen, where people could use common sense and not fall victim to the beautiful and sexy lies that people tell them. Unfortunately, a lot of people won't internalize that because the dream is so much more appealing than the reality, especially in the music producer community. As my colleague Aaron Knight once said, modern day producers have been sold this narrative that just because they make beats, they should be making money hand over fist. They're sold this narrative that selling beats is easy. It's easy to make a killing in the music production business. It took me 10 years to get my first placement. And when I entered into the online beat leasing space, it took me at least 3 years to get to the point where it was paying my bills. It's similar to physical fitness. People know deep down inside that they have to do the work. They have to be active. They have to change their diets. However, fad diets, miracle pills and devices make billions of dollars a year because on the surface, people just want a shortcut. People want a shortcut to these results, and they want it fast and with little to no effort. The producer community is no exception. I think it's probably worse here, and scammers know it. Scammers know producers are, by and large, searching for a shortcut to their desired goal. Placements, plaques, money, that kind of thing. So what better scam than pay for placement? First of all, we have to figure out what a placement is, because there are a lot of people talking about scams that aren't actually scams. So for example, paying to collaborate with a producer. There are a lot of industry producers that are reaching out to, new producers. I don't want to use the word no-name producers, but maybe producers who don't yet have any major accomplishments, and they're offering them collab services. Now, obviously, if these are big-time producers, they're going to charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, but they're the ones reaching out to producers because they know that, and I'm not saying they're wrong for it. I mean, if they're providing a service and you're paying and they're telling you it's a collab that you're buying and not some kind of placement, look, it's your money, right? But see it for what it is. See it for you paying to work, not even in person, with a producer that you respect. Maybe that's worth it to you. If it is, cool. But in my mind, the producers who are reaching out to, lesser known producers and offering this service are playing on this well-known culture of wanting fast success. I think the perception when you purchase a collaboration from a bigger producer is that it's going to get placed. Like if you buy a collab from, and I tell people this all the time because there are producers who have reached out to me and like, hey, if I buy a collab from you, will you send it to this big artist and will it get placed here? And I'm like, no, I'll put it on my store. I do this full time, and I can't make promises because that would be me lying. But I think there's this unspoken notion that if you work with a bigger producer, opportunities are going to come. You don't know what these producers are going to do with this beat once they complete it. It could just sit on their hard drive. But that's paying for a collab. That's not paying for a placement. And I read something on Reddit recently. Let me show you the thread. Opinions on paying for beat placements. So it's pretty obvious that most people claiming to give placements in exchange for money are running a giant scam. I'm interested to see if anyone had success with paying in exchange for a placement. Someone said, trust me, don't fall for it. I agree with them. Palace's name came up a couple times. People keep saying Palace claimed to have paid for a placement. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, and I very well could be. I'm pretty sure what Palace said was he paid for an email list, not a placement, but I could be totally wrong. So this producer said, I paid for a placement before $500 to Matt Ox. Honestly, it was actually worth it. I guess it depends on what your definition of worth it is. Let's just be clear here. A placement is when you get your music purchased for use on a major project. That's what a major placement is. What this person is describing is buying a feature. He bought a feature from a rapper. He bought a feature from Matt Ox. I searched far and wide to find the song, and I did find it on his SoundCloud, but I couldn't find it anywhere else. It wasn't on YouTube. It certainly wasn't on Matt Ox's channel. So it wasn't, to me, a placement. The song was good, but he bought a verse, and people do that all the time. But it's not a placement. I could buy a verse from an artist right now and release it myself. That's not a placement. That's me releasing a song. So what if someone reaches out to you and says that they're gonna get you a beat placement, or they got you a beat placement, but you need to just cover the placement fees, miscellaneous fees, production fees, processing fees, all of the regular fees associated with a placement? Here's the problem. Those don't exist. Those aren't real. Someone just made that up. And that's the short version. There are no fees associated with you getting a placement from the person getting you the placement. Now, let me show you the current scam that's been going around for months. And it's pretty much, I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know if it's a group of people. I don't know if it's just people stealing the scam from one another, but it's pretty much the same language in each and every email. It pretty much always starts like this. Hey fam. Of course, anyone who says hey fam is probably scamming you. Sorry to the people who say hey fam regularly. I trust and hope you're well. I'm personally contacting you because one of your beats was brought to my attention. I work alongside Sweetie and Doja Cat under Capitol Records. No, you don't. And did one of their biggest hits, Best Friends. Now, this language is common among all of these scams. They just kind of change the names of the artists. I've seen it for pop artists. I've seen it for rappers. I've seen it for singers. And then they say, with that being said, I got an opportunity if you're interested. They're just kind of fishing to see who will reply. And what they do is I guess what they're doing is they're finding beats on like YouTube, maybe BeatStars, and then just filling in the blank here. This could just be any beat title. And then they just find the email address and they reach out to the producer. And then they give, these are my credentials. This is my name. If someone's not scamming you, they're not going to try to convince you that they are who they say they are on the first email, because they are who they are, right? They're telling the truth. Why would they? It's like when someone says, hey, I got to tell you what happened and I'm not going to lie to you. Why are you even qualifying what you're about to say as not a lie before even saying it? That's suspicious. So this isn't me, by the way. Shout out to the producer who provided me with these screenshots. He replied, yes, I would be interested. And then this is also copy and paste. Okay, fam, I'm opening my own, again with the fam, I'm opening my own studio in LA. So I've recently decided to reach out to a few upcoming talents to help produce, damn, this grammar's bad, to help producers get placements with me. Why did you capitalize two, but not we? We can do 1 to 3 beats going right now to Janae Aiko herself. I charge a $200 submission fee just to keep it professional. They love using confusing language like this just to keep it professional. I'm trying to take money from you. And to see who's really passionate about this hip hop culture. Holy shit, dude, shut your stupid ass up. I split everything 60-40. No one does. Is he saying 60-40 with you getting the majority? This golden opportunity isn't solely for my team and I, but for upcoming producers as yourself to be recognized, as well as being one of our in-house producers. Please be advised that 90% of the submission fee will be refunded if you don't get the placement. So that's a lie, but it makes it sound good. So I think the dude must have paid $200, unfortunately, because what he got in return was, this is how they do it, man. If you send these people money, it's not over. They're gonna keep trying to squeeze more money out of you. Here's the reply. The executive producer is finishing up with the final touches. He just requires one last payment on your side of $36.75. God damn, that's a lot of money for a scam, which will cover all miscellaneous fees. What in the fuck is a miscellaneous fee? Based on the potential of where the deal is going, I'm going to take the responsibility of paying. Are you not benevolent? Are you not kind? Look at that. This scammer is even paying for 30% of this fake miscellaneous fee for you. It's like somebody robbing you at gunpoint and saying, you know what? Give me your wallet, but I'm going to give you 30% of it back once you hand it over to me. I have just paid 500 of my 1102. So, like, listen to this pushy ass language. They're just being so pushy. I've already paid. They're trying to guilt trip you. I already paid my 500. Now it's your turn. Now you have to fulfill your obligation. The beauty about this is that the overall amount can be paid in installments. Of course it can, because that's absolutely not how the music business works, paying in installments. So let me show you how this actually works. I'm going to show you some examples of real emails that I've gotten for real placements. So this one hurt my heart because it was a big placement that never happened. But anyway, number one, I'm getting contacted by an official email address. I blocked it out, but you can see the domain. It's UMusic. So it's not Gmail. It's not Yahoo. It's actually from the label. They have a, what is this called? A signature with the label's logos and all that. And they're not asking me for money. They are contacting me and sending me forms. They're getting right down to business. Remember I said in the last video about loop makers who send uncleared samples and claim that you can use them 100% because they created them? Yeah. The labels send sample and session forms when you get a placement. So you start putting, well, I got this from YouTube on the sample and session form. They're going to eat your little dumb ass up. So don't get caught up in that. That's besides the point, though. So once I send that information, God, I forgot to blank out some stuff in here, man. Whatever. I'm not going to stop the video. So note again, UMusic domain. They start sending right away the agreement, and sometimes it'll be an attachment. This time it was just right in the email. This was a initial offer, which I actually didn't like. So the lawyer turned it into a much better offer. But right away, look, they're offering me a master fee. They're not saying, hey, can you send me? And here's what's crazy. The master fee that they're offering me is $3,000. And in that scam, they were talking about you gotta send them like $3,600, some ridiculous number. Isn't that pathetic? Here's another one. This is for a sync license. Again, these people send emails. They don't try hard to convince you that they are who they're claiming they are, because they actually are who they are claiming to be. They don't have to do all this. Here's my YouTube, check my Genius page. Those are all red flags. And they right away say, hey, this is what we need from you. Here's what we're offering you. This is for a sync license. They're not asking me to pay. They're saying this is an all-in $25,000 fee for the synchronization. Then they also attached the terms. Like if there's nothing else that you get from me showing you these examples, it's that they pay you. You don't pay them for a placement. And that's why the scam that I just showed you is easy to spot. They're definitely getting people. They're definitely getting people. It's a shame because common sense should tell us that we don't pay to work. We don't go to Target and say, hey, what if I paid you $20 an hour? Could I wear the red vest and sit behind the POS and handle checkout for 8 hours? No. So in the music business, why would we contact somebody and say, hey, can I pay you $3,000 to do work delivering you a master? That doesn't make sense. And then, people will say there's this whole narrative, well, the business is all about pay to play. One, that's not true. And two, A placement is a pretty big deal. I mean, if we're going to liken it to something like a certification or a license, like some other sort of business, I don't think it's a great analogy, but you can't pay for that either. You can't just buy a nursing degree and suddenly you're working in a hospital. So if the common sense part of a person's brain had just kicked in and said, no, something's not right, I'm not paying for a placement, that's ridiculous, then they would have saved themselves some money. I'm not victim blaming, I'm just saying there are ways for us to avoid this. Now, there are some scams that aren't so easy to spot, and it's because they're not necessarily coming from an email that was obviously copy and paste, full of spelling errors, not from a labeled domain, that kind of thing. Here's a Reddit thread where the guy says, this is definitely a scam. The guy is certified and has 40,000 followers. Now, that will get a lot of people if a verified profile, not on Twitter anymore because Elon messed all that up, but on Instagram, if there's a verified profile contacting you and asking you for money, you're probably going to think it's legitimate, right? And again, this automatically should have warning bells sounding in your head because of the two criteria that I named at the beginning. 2, 1, they're reaching out to you. 2, for an opportunity that they're offering that you somehow have to pay for. That's what this is. They're reaching out. Hey, homie, I checked you out. They always do this thing where they try to gas up your ego, tell you how amazing you are. I just randomly happened upon your profile and you're amazing. We can do all this stuff for you, but there's a price. In this case, they're selling an email list. You can have Travis Scott's email address. Hey, come on, man. For $80, you can have Travis Scott's email address. Here's the thing about verified profiles on Instagram. Their purpose is to verify a person's identity, not their morals. There's no badge for that. Anybody can scam. And let me just say this. Your favorite rappers and producers could potentially have messed up their money to the point that they're desperate enough to make fast cash that they start reaching out or work with a company that uses their social media to reach out to people, request money for dubious, if not scammy services. So you need to protect yourself, period. Now, let's say you get a legitimate placement offer. I'm going to leave a link to this article written by Carl Folks in the description, because it gives you a good idea of what to do when you're actually getting a placement. And then also, if you're reading this and thinking, well, none of this happened, no one, and if you watch this video too, no one reached out, no one offered money, no one offered any sort of agreement with terms outlined, then it's a scam. But if it does pass that test, if it doesn't match or fulfill the scam criteria that I named, maybe it's a real placement. Now, here you got to read this article. And Carl Folks, who's an entertainment lawyer who represents a lot of producers, put it together. He's been a guest on the MEC podcast, and so he's a resource, and I appreciate the knowledge that he releases. This is a couple years old, but the placement game hasn't changed. So much success to you. Be safe out there. Be careful. If it seems too good to be true, it is. And honestly, I don't even think paying a $200 submission fee seems very good at all. So use common sense. Much success to you. Stay safe. Peace.